It's Week 15 of the NFL, and we've got CeeDee Lamb. Always staying busy, he's your league leader in receiving yards. It's the Cowboys and the Bills, just ahead on EA Sports.
Winter is just around the corner as you get a look at Highmark Stadium just south of Buffalo, New York. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store as it'll be the Cowboys of Louisville taking on the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
The byes are over. It's now a 4-week sprint to the finish, and we are underway here in Week 15. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So the Cowboys ready to go on offense for the first time, and it is their now 30-year-old quarterback, Dak Prescott, who leads the way.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Dak going to start out going to the air. That is caught by Lamb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy. And
the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
A first down throw for Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reed. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. So the completion good for 7 there, and that will bring up second down. The Cowboys at 12-1 now to start play, and they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense can miss too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. So here are the Bills now ready to go on offense for the first time. And led out by their veteran quarterback. He's been around a while. They don't celebrate birthdays for him. They just cut him up, see how many rings he's got around the middle. He has been in the league a long time.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
The numbers a week ago for Chase. 5 catches, 51 yards.
3rd in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Smith. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. They'll give him 4 yards there, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They give it to Freeman up the gut. And he is going to have the Bills first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we? Vertical,
downhill running. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run and, of course, get to the quarterback.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And that's out quickly to Chase. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. So the assignment, a tough one here for this defense. You've got a quarterback ranked in the top 5 in passing yards. What do they need to do to try to keep him under wraps?
Well, they didn't sleep a whole lot getting ready for this one, I can guarantee.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Darius Williams in there to make the tackle.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Third and short yardage. Prescott work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Here's 2nd and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. Still shedding tackles. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets them down to the 6-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. And Chubb will try the middle here. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. To throw is Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jaden Reed, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Up the middle, Freeman. And able to to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing now is Geno. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
That's again a 3.
Throwing on third down, Smith. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
First down, Prescott. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Second down, Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the penalty declined, and they will keep the yardage on the completion.
And you could almost see him compartmentalize there throughout the route. Fought hard at the line of scrimmage, a lot of hand checking throughout the route. Great job staying focused on the football and pulling it in through the contact.
And they are going to have a first down, and they're in field goal range as well as they're down inside the 20.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Prescott. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. And again, it's Prescott. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Prescott now on 2nd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and it's now 21-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Ready.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The big Sebastian Joseph Day there on the stop.
At the 27-yard line.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, and those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Devin Duvernay, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. Chris Godwin, a touchdown reception. We saw a solid first half out of the workhorse Nick Chubb. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Final adjustments being made for the second half. So with that, we get you back up to Orchard Park and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
Geno now to throw. A short throw to Ingram. So nothing doing there, and now we've got a 3rd and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Agnew now to return. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Their own 38-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, There's no way they can stop us.
Here's Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Reed. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So little by little, the better of these two sides starting to become more and more apparent.
3 points is not a knockout blow in the 3rd quarter, but when the other guys haven't shown they can do anything, they don't have any points, this is looking pretty good. Maybe not a knockout blow, but a good stiff jab, that's for sure.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And here come the Bills. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Under pressure, they got him again. Myles Garrett in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both 1st and 2nd down. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return, here's Agnew. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Chubb on the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Prescott. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Reed. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This complete to Lockett. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them. Go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Benny Snell, the intended receiver that time. And now it's 2nd down. Smith. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
71 yards rushing now for Chubb, and a first down as well. Play fake. Here's Prescott. This is caught. Touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? but you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they'll try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. Play action. It's Smith. There's Chris Olave. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Smith throwing again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Micah Parsons drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is taken at the 23. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's Louisville set to take over on offense. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the 4th. putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
The kick is
Aubrey good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's Logan Cook now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded just inside the 30. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this team continues to stake its claim as Super Bowl favorites. They are now eyeing an 8th straight win as they begin this drive here in the fourth quarter. Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, that threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for the Cowboys, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.